Have you ever seen that Twitter meme that's like unshackling? I want to unshackle myself from the societal pressure of marriage, period.
You don't have to marry, Pokey. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to.
Okay, but imagine growing up your whole life being like marriage, 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 marriage. You know?
Yeah, I get that.
And also, I feel like especially as women, like it's kind of ingrained in us, our value, I don't agree. But a lot of people will tell you your value is in making a baby and, you know, managing a home and whatever the hell. But
Guess
the
my
thing
value
is,
zero. I guess my value is 0.
you know, but the thing is, like, our lives are actually fucking dope. And I hate that I have these annoying thoughts every now and then. I'm like, what a waste of my goddamn time. I actually love my life. And I don't think, like, those thoughts and those pressures sometimes make me feel wrong for not being married or for not having kids at this age. But I don't think that that's a wrong thing whatsoever.
The sentiment that these women are saying is shared by a lot of women, and on a surface level, they aren't wrong, because why would they want to have kids? They have all their needs met, and got a box in their hands that can give them unlimited attention. So by all means, their lives are great, and even though these two really aren't the average women, they all still fall in some sort of range near this, where their lives are still good enough to not need or want to have kids, and that's really the crux of the issue. Women don't really need them, or if that maternal instinct is really strong, they can get a dog at a fraction of the cost. I believe most women had kids out of necessity. There wasn't all these comfy DEI jobs that paid well, or well enough, for most of human history, and the majority of jobs women just couldn't do as well as men, for a variety of reasons. So them having kids was the payment they needed to pay for men to share their resources with them, and to get that attention fix. It's not like they actually wanted them, but they had no choice. And with the predicament we're in with the falling birth rates, and women being out of control slurs, now that they can have quote unquote perfect lives, it kind of shows I may be right about this, especially when you see the differences when a man and a woman get rich. Men usually start or improve their family, while women tend to abandon and become a slur, and I think it's all due to why we have kids in the first place. Men do it out of purpose and love. Having kids gives them more of a purpose to what they're doing other than just surviving, and some actual genuine love because these kids think you're the world, where everybody else usually wants something, while women usually do it to get access to something like money, attention, or security. So what these ladies are saying, from their perspective, is correct, and these old societal pressures that women need to have kids, or a woman's only value comes from having kids, is archaic and out of date, but they give no thought on why that is. We all live in such an easy time that having kids now is considered a damper and annoyance on your life, where for most of our time, you having kids was a necessity. Otherwise, we all die. It wasn't thought up in some patriarch cabal. It was literally the only thing you could do, and women were happy to do it. It was the easiest job at the time, where women had all their needs met. And now that the easy dial has been turned up to 11, they don't need to. And the only reason for them to reproduce now is that biological urge, which they'll drown out with external sources like drugs, alcohol, attention, and a rotation of men bigger than an NFL team. And until life gets way worse, where they actually need men to come and save them, because most of them can't do anything if all this goes away. They'll just continue to be like this. And why wouldn't they? They got lives that kings would dream of. They can travel wherever they want. They got food and men on dial. So to them, everything's perfect. And adding a kid would only be a hindrance. So until things get much worse, like a Great Depression, everything will remain the status quo. And because the initial reasons on why they had kids aren't there anymore, they don't think they need them. But the sad thing that these women don't see is that even though the initial reasons are gone, the later reasons aren't. Like people being there for them when everybody else died or is gone, or all that attention dried up because they're past 40. And even though they see this with other women, just like men, they assume that won't happen to them because they somehow can do it different or better. So if we want things to get better in that sense, we need things to get much worse. So women will bring kids back to the table. That or hope artificial wombs are right around the corner.